This is Alan Holden with another entry in the KLBP Long Beach Diary. Have you ever wanted to act on stage? Perhaps you're a fledgling playwright or artist who's looking for a facility to host your theatrical production. The Long Beach Community Theater on Anaheim Street near PCH just could be your ticket to fame. Built from the ground up just for performances, this building, this organization, this February will mark the anniversary month of its original founding way back in 1929. Executive Director Madison Mooney was kind enough to give me the insider's tour of the place, on stage, upstage, and backstage.
Hello, I'm Al.
Hi, I'm Madison.
Madison, what a pleasure.
Well, welcome. You're now part of an almost 88-year tradition.
Yeah, I heard 1929.
Yeah, February of 29, so we're coming up on our 88th anniversary.
The place looks smaller and more intimate from the street. And then when you actually turn in and start driving through here, you go, wow, this is quite a facility. Yeah, so all these pictures are folks that have been here.
Yeah.
DeForest Kelley.
Yeah, we got a few, a couple of big names. You know, Robert Mitchum, before you went up to Hollywood, performed here.
Finally, when I was 16, I went to California.
Do you always want to be a movie star?
No, I wanted to be Queen.
And DeForest Kelley, Hugh Beaumont, who was the dad on Leave It to Beaver.
Leave It to Beaver, starring Barbara Billingsley, Hugh Beaumont, and Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
Of course, you know, being a geek, I zero in on DeForest Kelley.
Yeah. That's the most recognizable one.
You always hear bones.
Yeah.
Is it an occupational hazard to hear people yell bones?
No.
My name is McCoy. I'm a doctor.
You guys have two theaters?
Yes. Yeah, we have two. We have one right through these doors, the main stage, and then upstairs we have our studio. Go on into the main stage.
How long have you been with them?
Well, I've been the executive director for officially 3 days, but the business and operations manager for about 4.5 years, and then a volunteer stage manager, actor, bartender, usher for a couple years before that. Let me turn on the lights just back here.
Oh, what a cool space.
Yeah, so this is our main stage. We've been here since 1951. Before then, we were in a few different spaces near downtown. And so it's a thrust stage. We have 200 seats.
So it's, if we picture this in our mind's eye, theater in the round.
Yeah,
This
is almost like 3/4.
This is theater in the U.
Yeah, we kind of, when people call and they're kind of asking about where to sit, we kind of describe it as a horseshoe.
Sure.
It's a little horseshoe around the stage, and because they're constantly moving around, and our directors know how to block so that, you see someone's back part of the time. You have to.
Well, of course.
Then you always get people's faces throughout most of
Yeah,
the time.
it's really like there's no bad seat in here.
Yeah, I agree.
It sort of crushes that whole conversation about the fourth wall.
Oh, yeah, they're constantly facing out to the audience.
Because there's the fourth, fifth, and sixth wall.
Yeah,
if you count all three.
Like right now, over some of the aisleways, we have some windows hanging. So an actor will be standing right in front of the front row of, section B right here.
Looking out the window.
Staring at the group of audience members right there. We do 8 productions on this stage per year. Right now we are in our build week. We're putting the show together for an Agatha Christie, Miss Marple mystery.
Oh, that's my streaming choice right now. I'm going through, I finished
Great.
recently.
Yeah, we love Agatha Christie here, and our audiences do too. They love a good murder mystery.
Yeah.
18 years ago, Helen Marsden was murdered in this house. Her killer is in this room.
So right now we're in build week. They're rehearsing in the evenings, but during the day, Sean and Larry and our scenic painter Drew are kind of putting things together, and then they'll do tech this weekend, getting all the lights and sounds right, and then next week start dress rehearsals, and then we'll have an audience by the end of next week.
This place was originally built to be...
Yes, originally built to be a theater, designed by some guy from Minnesota. He kind of built certain parts of the building to withstand snow. While we're in Long Beach, I don't think we really need to worry about that.
These large beams that go across here and support this open space.
Yeah, they're farm-esque.
Yeah, large barns and warehouses have this sort of structures going across the top. Yeah, this is really something. What else can we sneak around here?
Well, we can go backstage.
Ooh. We're now going backstage.
And our dressing rooms. Every little nook and cranny closet is some sort of prop closet.
Look back here at all of these different lamp fixtures and stuff that are back here.
Yeah.
All the props are back here. The prop shop is...
we've got more through that door. In the shop, we've got even more stuff.
Oh, this isn't the back door?
No, this keeps going. We got the scene shop. Go back here.
Oh, my word.
So we've got our
it keeps
ski shop.
going.
Yeah.
Look at this back
again,
here.
It's a long, skinny building. Yeah, we have our artistic and technical director, Sean, and our new assistant technical director, Larry. This is their shop.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Look at all the chairs up here. All the chairs hanging from the ceiling.
We use our storage well. We use the ceiling as storage. A week ago, some of the flats that are currently on our stage would be back here, partially made.
Flats mean scenery?
Flats mean scenery. The walls and
yes.
stuff.
Backstage, they're flat.
Yes.
When you're sitting in your chair looking at them, you're going, that's a brick wall.
Yeah. So we have those kind of pre-made back here.
So all the furniture and stuff is all hanging from the ceiling, and then through this door, I imagine it's probably not open, but that's where all the handheld.
Large prop closet with a lot of props.
Yorick's head? Is Yorick's head in there?
Yes. We've got a couple of skulls. Those I don't know if they're in that room, maybe a different closet, but
I don't need to see
we got
them.
a couple of them around somewhere. Also back here above, we have an in-house costume designer, Donna, who makes or finds our costumes. So this is Donna, our costume designer.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Al. Nice to meet you. Oh, your hands are cold.
Oh,
Al.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Keep shaking, Donna. Put the iron on there.
So this space was originally merely storage, but when I came on board in '94, I started to carve out workspace because there really was no costume shop, any place to do any work.
Well, sure, you had to get territorial with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
this space is mine. When you source particular costumes for particular shows, I would imagine that some of them, if the circuit's more recent, you could actually find the clothing at certain places.
Oh, absolutely. For contemporary shows, I'm looking at thrift stores. Not that I'll find vintage, but I'll find similar.
You might be able to adapt the collar.
Exactly.
Something like
exactly. I always make room to make a few new costumes for each show.
Yeah, and wearing a Donna original is a great big deal.
So casting the young Orson Welles in a particular show would have been a different.
Would have been a delight.
And then if you had to cast the older Orson Welles,
yeah, it's a little different.
You would have had to change out the whole
a struggle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I imagine the casting doesn't take that into account. They just say, "Boy, this guy's good. We'll squeeze him in there."
Absolutely, and that's the only way that I would want it. I mean, I would hate for them to pass up somebody really talented because it might cause me a challenge.
He's too small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh, all the little mannequin heads, and look at all those
that's
neckties.
You got it. You never know what you're going to need, and it's always hard to know what to hold on to and what to get rid of. You should let him peek in the downstairs storage.
I will, yeah, we can unlock that.
That's more storage back there. That's men's suits, tuxedos, shoes.
Yeah, it's a wall of shoes. It's worse than a bowling alley.
Thank you, Donna.
Welcome.
Oh, wow. This is like a miniature version of the last scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right here, I believe this is, 1930s, and then over on that hanger goes to the 1940s, 1900s, 1910s, 1920s.
So you can costume any show, really. You wouldn't want to get a stray moth in here.
And actually, right here in these boxes are all of the Avenue Q puppets. We did Avenue Q a few years ago.
The Hallmark piece of that was like the internet's for porn.
Yeah. It's a great song.
The internet is really, really great.
For porn. Yeah, it was a riff on the Muppets.
Yeah, it's on Sesame Street. Yeah, it's for adults. So we can head up the back stairs to the studio. And the studio was added on in the mid-60s. And so it has its own lobby and bar area.
Oh, I see. So this is how the public arrives.
Yeah, they go up these stairs.
I see.
In front of the box office.
We were going up the secret way.
So the studio is more of a traditional proscenium, kind of like, a movie theater or most theater spaces that you can imagine. Let me get some of the lights on.
Well, this is a fairly big place, too.
Yeah, so we've got 98 seats. Right now, we are actually in our collaborative series.
I was going to ask more about that collaborative part that I saw.
We started it about, I think this is our 5th year, maybe it's our 4th year, because we have so many artists in Long Beach and in the surrounding areas that don't necessarily have their own space, and so we try to partner with groups and not gouge them on rental prices so that they can actually make a little bit of a profit too sometimes. Right now we're opening the first show of the new year, for the collaborative. And they'll be here this weekend. Next weekend we have a kind of a radio show with Earbud Theater.
It's like Mercury Theater.
Yeah.
Riffing off the Orson Welles joke
Yeah.
that I made earlier. They're actually built like real theaters.
Yeah.
It's not like you guys retrofitted
Yeah,
some...
this wasn't, some office building that we kind of changed things around in.
So I could see how you'd want to make this space available for other groups that would want to...
Yeah. About 5 months out of the year. It's December through April. And we also have some of our kind of unique productions that we put up here. We do like a Staff and Friends Cabaret or our New Works Festival. And then May through November, we have our regular studio season. And up here in the studio, we are able to kind of do more contemporary, edgier, more adult productions, as opposed to downstairs. We kind of keep it more traditional community theater, more family-friendly.
You mean people are swearing up here?
Yes, people swear. Sometimes there's nudity and everything.
Oh, gasp. Let the listeners know I am fanning myself with shock.
But our audiences have come to kind of expect it, so now they know that they don't go up to the studio if they don't like swearing and stuff like that.
Kids, don't go upstairs. This is something, it just keeps going.
And actually that door goes to the roof, and we have some storage in some bins on the roof, because we have so many things to store.
Back downstairs again.
This is our gallery bar area. So before the show, we got beer and wine bar, and then local artists on our walls.
So it's not only a gathering place where you can have a beer during the intermission or while you're waiting for the show to begin, but also showcasing local art.
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
If you like one, you can buy one.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Is there a rotation of productions?
Our former executive director, Andrew Vonderschmidt, a couple of years ago, he kind of compared our seasons with a meal. You gotta have meat shows, which are kind of the issue-driven and kind of like...
That's protein.
The protein. You gotta eat bread, which are kind of like the Neil Simons or the farces that are kind of like good and interesting and usually has a happy ending. And then there's the cake, which is, the musicals and kind of over-the-top kind of shows and things like that. In the season, have that meal of like a bit of everything. And murder mysteries, we try to do one of those a year because our audiences do like it. But if we did a murder mystery 3 times a year, they'd get sick of it.
Right.
So we kind of stick with like one murder mystery a year, kind of 1 or 2 farces every year, a hard-hitting drama, a fun musical in the summer.
It makes for a well-rounded, nutritional audience.
Yes, yeah.
So cake is more like, this would never happen in real life.
We're doing Guys and Dolls this summer. That's kind of a cakey type show. It's,
yes.
Most musicals we would consider cake.
Most of the vets I talked to never broke into song.
Yeah. We did Sweeney Todd. Closed out the studio last year with Sweeney Todd. That is a musical, so it's kind of cakey, but...
A lot of protein in that one.
Of course, we have our shows that kind of don't exactly fit one mold.
But one of the things was the donations page. Mm-hmm. And I saw sponsors, individuals, also some companies, some businesses and stuff. Mm-hmm. For example, Farmers and Merchants Bank.
Yes, yeah, they're a local business, and they try to sponsor lots of different nonprofits in the So we've been partnered with F&M sometimes with that event. Sometimes the Port of Long Beach has sponsored us. And then we also have grants.
Does that give them any space at the table? For example, if you guys were talking about you want to do It's a Wonderful Life, and the guy from the bank sits on your table and he goes, "Oh no, you're not doing It's a Wonderful Life because that makes bankers look bad."
No, we don't exactly have that type of relationship. So we always get suggestions for shows, but usually it's not that we announce we're going to do Treasure Island with pirates and the port's not going to come and call us and say, no, you can't.
We don't like pirates.
But of course we do have donors that they have meetings and
they write their own plays. They write their own.
Not yet.
This is the story of an airport.
Oh, I hope I'm not dealing with that. Oh, no.
Yeah, they're pushing screenplays under the door.
Yeah.
Here's a story about a famous bank. There's categories.
Kind of to go with our theme of theater, we kind of categorize our donors as, if they've given a little bit more than their directors, and if they've given, a certain amount their starring roles, or kind of our base donors, their ensemble cast.
Do you have to keep explaining to the donors that giving this much money does not get you a starring role? You don't get to be a director.
No. Most of the time they understand that.
How does casting work? What percentage is volunteer versus how many people, are being remunerated for their time here?
Yeah, so we are a community theater. Mm-hmm. So all of our actors are volunteers. We have open auditions, usually 2 nights of auditions, and then a night of callbacks. So we post them, on our website, on a couple of different casting websites. Anyone who wants to can come on in, fill out a form, and audition. The good ones are called back on
Go figure.
On Wednesday night. And then usually by the end of Wednesday night, they have a cast.
So there's two sides to this.
Yeah.
One side is that this is an excellent opportunity for somebody who wants to pursue an acting...
Yeah, gaining experience
and stuff. Open audition, the experience, getting out there, doing the lines, doing the blocking, learning all of that.
Yeah.
The second thing, though, is that I think people may not realize how much work is involved.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine during casting, you try to explain to some of these volunteers, you're going to have to come back and do X, Y.
5 days a week of rehearsal.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And we do have a number of, younger people that want to pursue this as a career. And we've got people that have been around for, 25 years acting with us. So yeah, it's kind of a mix of people that kind of want to do it professionally and then also people that just are good and great actors, but they're a vet during the day. And this is what they like to do in the evenings. Each cast is kind of a mixture of that. Almost every show we have a person that's never worked here before.
This is an amazing little place to have the opportunity to sort of sneak around and
I love talking about the Playhouse. I can talk about the Playhouse for hours and hours.
Well, great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, of course.
And scene. Many thanks to Madison Mooney for her time. Also, Andrew Vonderschmidt, who helped make this visit possible. For KLBP, Low Power FM, the Long Beach Radio Project, I'm Alan Holden.